Good evening. This is MC. Welcome to MC After Dark. Clarity in the quiet hours. I'm going to be doing another collective reading. And we will be asking the universe, our spirit guides, to show us what energies are we releasing or ready to release in the incoming days. Maybe in the next 7 days. 7 days is pretty good. I will be pulling 4 cards, and the question we will be asking is what energies are we releasing? What lessons have we learned? What replaces the energy we're letting go? And the last card will be what guidance are we receiving moving forward? Okay, so tonight I am using the Leundi Universe Tarot deck. This is given by a very good friend. Thank you so much. And also this tablecloth that she gave me. You know who you are. Thank you. And we won't waste any more time, guys. We're going to shuffle. And we're going to go ahead and ask the questions. Let's do it. Spirit. We will be pulling 4 cards. The first card will be you, giving us information about what we need to release in the next 7 days. What do we need to release in the next 7 days? What do we need to release in the next 7 days? I hope you guys are having a good night or evening. I just finished a big cup of iced coffee, so I am very ready for this reading tonight. If the reading tonight does not resonate with you, please let it go. If you like the reading tonight, please like and subscribe and help the channel grow. To my new subscribers, thank you so much. I appreciate your subscription, the likes and the comments. I appreciate that. Okay, we're ready for the first card to come out. Again, we will ask the universe, what energy are we ready to release in the next 7 days? Here we go. First card. The Queen of Wands. Okay. The Queen of Wands is a queen that is extremely confident. The Queen of Wands is passionate. The Queen of Wands is very creative. She dabbles in metaphysics. She is into tarot, astrology. She's into music, dancing. She's into theater performance. And she likes to perform in front of many people. I actually attribute this Queen of Wands card to Leo. Leos are performers. They're fire signs. They're very uninhibited people, or the energy itself is uninhibited. These are usually energies who like to do first and think later. The Queen of Wands can be sometimes more concerned about adulation, like I said, performance, recognition. They like to be the center of attention. They like to be known. They like to be heard. They like to be seen. And so, in the extreme, the Queen of Wands can be a little bit too much to handle. The Queen of Wands can be, sometimes all over the place because it's fire, it's very lit, so to speak. That's what the kids say nowadays, right? She's lit. She's a firecracker. She can be overly ambitious and sometimes can overestimate things because, it's a fire energy. So if the Queen of Wands comes out saying that this is the energy that we need to release, the way I read it is that it's not suppressing the energy, it's not curtailing it, because I don't believe that you need to curtail your energy. I don't believe that you have to make yourself look small, feel small, in order to fit other people's expectations. But what I'm seeing here is that I think what the universe is asking the collective to do is to just be a little bit less of a performer. Sometimes it's best to just let your achievements speak for itself. You don't need to be braggadocious about it. There's no need to be a show-off. Sometimes the Queen of Wands needs to just sit back and trust the process. Sometimes it's necessary for the Queen of Wands to simmer the fire a little bit, just a little bit. Another interpretation for that is that maybe if you are always in the limelight, maybe it's okay to step back a little bit. Maybe you have been in the limelight, if you are one of those influencers and you are getting a lot of attention, and maybe it's overcrowding your energy. I don't think it's a bad thing to step back a little bit, And so this is what I am feeling, what the universe is saying, is that to release that energy. Just think about what you say first. Scale back on the fire energy too much. And just allow others to shine sometimes. And it's not a bad idea to share your achievements with others, because sometimes the fire energy can be overwhelming. So if the Queen of Wands comes out as a way for the universe to say, release that energy. This is just temporary. It's a court card. And we're only asking for the next 7 days. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's not going to put out your fire entirely, right? So that's my interpretation of the Queen of Wands. Then our next question will be, what replaces this energy then? What replaces the energy? What replaces the Queen of Wands instead? I have a very stubborn energy right now. I could feel it. The first video I made felt very earthy. This time around, it's very fiery. I love my fire signs. I'm a fire sign myself. I'm a triple Sag. Just for transparency. So, we're gonna ask the universe, what replaces the Queen of Wands instead? What replaces the Queen of Wands energy then? What replaces the Queen of Wands energy? What replaces the Queen of Wands energy? What replaces the Queen of Wands energy? What replaces this is the King of Swords. So now we're going to a swordy, a very intelligent, very strategic, very clear-minded, very smart. Can I say strategic again? And the King of Swords, this is a kind of energy that cuts through the chase. It cuts through the fluff. Have to get rid of the fogginess, because sometimes when there's so much fire happening in your environment or in your mind or in your life, the King of Swords is replacing the Queen of Wands, saying that you're very clear about where you're going to go this time. There will be a very clear-cut mindset as far as if you have any new goals in your life, like if it's about your finances, if you want to go to school, if it's about a new project at work, or anything, you know, that has been bugging your mind. And the Queen of Wands energy is just go, 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 go. The King of Swords is saying, wait a minute, let's think this through. We're not going to do anything without due process. You know, we have to have a plan, an execution, and we have to make sure that there's a fallback or a cushion in case something misfires, so to speak. Do we have a plan B to our plan A? That's the King of Swords. There's no emotion in this energy. It's all about what are we doing to make sure this thing becomes a successful, well thought of idea, plan, process. The King of Swords will look you in the eye and ask a lot of questions. They will ask you the why, the who, you know. Very intellectual, does a lot of research. And so if the King of Swords is replacing the Queen of Wands, you're going to be extremely strategic about your goals, your projects. There's a saying, what does it say? You're going to leave no stones unturned. Yeah, that's the King of Swords. Okay? So That's what's going to replace the Queen of Wands. Not a bad thing. I love the King of Swords. Blunt, straightforward, direct, cuts through the chase, cuts through the fog. You know? So, what's the next question here? The next question will be, what's the lesson learned then? What's the lesson learned? What's the lesson learned? Getting rid of the Queen of Wands energy, or releasing it, replacing it with the King of Swords. I'm sorry guys, sometimes I can ramble. It's just how I pull the energies out of my mind, my body, my environment. What replaces this energy then? What lessons, I mean, sorry, I apologize. What lessons? Lessons. What lessons or lesson? What lessons are we learning? The Page of Swords. Yeah, I completely agree. It's it makes sense coming after the King of Swords. So the lesson you have learned is that you have to do your due diligence, to do your research. Don't jump into conclusions. You have to investigate. That's the lesson. You know, you can't move forward in life without doing your due diligence in whatever endeavor you are involved in, whether it's, again, work projects, you're going to school, you're learning new things in life. If it's a relationship, you know, you're not just gonna jump into a relationship right away if you're single, without figuring out who is this person, what kind of project am I involved in, what are the logistics, who's involved, vetting the person, vetting the project. If that's, is there such a word as vetting a project? Then let it apply. You know, be a student. You can learn new things as a Page of Swords. You know, that's the lesson being learned here, is that nobody knows everything. Okay, yes, you can be smart, you can be the King of Swords, you can be a know-it-all, but at the end of the day, there will always be something that you can learn from a past mistake, from being the Queen of Wands, you know, rushing things, you know, all passion. Step on your brakes sometimes. Pause and think and say, wait a minute. Am I supposed to just move forward right away without even figuring out if this is really the right thing to do? That's the lesson that we're learning here, is be a Page of Swords. Learn something new. Be a student again. Figure out things. Put things together. You know, do your research. And so that's the Page of Swords. I like the Page of Swords. It's a very curious person. It's a very curious energy. They're very excited to learn new things. They're always involved in many different things. It's the energy that has the hand in every other cookie jars. You know? That's the Page of Swords. And so the lesson that we learn from that is that, you know, be a curious cat. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Not in this day and age, right? The Queen of Wands. She's hot. By the way, the Queen of Wands can be a man. Okay? This is a court card. We're talking about energy, so I'm sorry if I go back and forth here, but this is about clarity, right? We're talking about clarity. These are reflections. We're learning something. So let's learn together. The last card will be what guidance are we all receiving, the collective, moving forward? What's the guidance moving forward? Guidance. Guidance moving forward. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Ace of Wands. That is our guidance. Be inspired. Be inspired. This is our guidance. The universe is basically handing you a gift, saying your guidance is that you're going to be inspired to start something new. Don't go back to old energies. That's already a closed story. It's an old story. Anytime you remember about the past that must have prevented you from moving forward, doesn't matter. Again, we're going to talk about it's a relationship, it's your relationship with your co-workers, your work projects and all that. If all of that gave you nothing, it's this information that the universe is telling you, that the guidance is that there will be a spark of new interest into a new project, a new relationship, something that will inspire you to get excited again about life. That is the guidance moving forward. Not to give up. Everything, we can always start from the beginning. The Ace of Wands tells you that it always starts from here, from the heart and the mind. You know, you integrate that together, then you're going to be unstoppable. Absolutely. The Ace of Wands, I love it. That's your guide. And so this is the message from the universe tonight. I hope you all enjoy the reading. And I hope you all gain clarity from the information that we received from the universe tonight. And I'll see you again next time. Good night.